Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, where you can sign up to be a member of the Shannons Club, your local Holden certified service centre, Pace Farm the enjoyable egg, and Heron Forbes Machinery House, where you can buy online. G'day, I'm Fletch and welcome. How cool is this? I've brought you back to New Zealand for the 2023 Kumeu Classic Car and Hot Rod Festival in this week's episode of Classic Restos. It's just so nice to be here in Kumeu. I've got a couple of good New Zealand car families, and I have to say that this is one of them. The Classic Car and Hot Rod Festival. It says it all. It's everything hot rods, classic cars, and all the cool stuff that goes with it. In the Upper North Island, west of Auckland, this Kumeu event has become one of the largest players in New Zealand as a static vehicle event. Ken, Desma and their family crew have evolved this event to where it is today. Over 3 big days, the gates open from 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday as the main days, and vehicles pour in from all over New Zealand. And with this mega Kumeu show, there's stacks of entertainment that goes with it. The gates open and we have a stack of swap sites and trade displays, live music from various bands on stage across the weekend. There's beauty contests for the ladies, a military reenactment on the oval each day, a tank car crusher, a jet car to burn up the field, and of course the awesome show sheds displaying some of New Zealand's finest stock, modified and custom cars, motorcycles and heaps of various cool stuff. Too much to mention here. And on the paddock, the chrome glistens the field with vehicle displays all weekend. I had to pounce on this lady here, Pauline. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Fletch. How are you?
Great. Now, before we start talking about this magnificent 68 car behind us here, you're doing the chips and the hot dogs and everything in the van this weekend.
We are. Yeah, we're busy doing chips this weekend, but we thought we'd better bring some cars down.
Yeah. You're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because you've got to serve the food but plus do the cars as well, but you just have to do that, right?
Yeah, you do.
The car behind us, the 68 Roadrunner. How cool is this? 426 Hemi. What can you tell us about it?
I can tell you that it's only had 2 owners, and it's all original, and it's been in the country for a long time.
Nice to see. Still left-hand drive, hasn't been converted over to the right-hand side, so it's as it's left the United States. It's a great score in 2023 to have a car like this.
Yes, it is. It's a fun car to drive.
I just love the blacked-out hood on these things, and Hemi right along the scoop there. It's like pulling up at the traffic lights and don't mess with me.
It is. It's like a monster. Yep, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Pauline, just something quick. I just wanted to give you a little idea of the type of thing you'll see here at Kumeu, and beautiful people such as Pauline that drive these machines. Pauline, have a wonderful weekend here with the food, and I hope everything goes well for you.
Thanks so much, Fletch. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Pauline. Talk about a different time. What I love about something that the Americans did with their cars, they made very fast cars out of very large cars. And through the windscreen of the person coming up behind this 1968 Roadrunner back in the day, there was one telltale sign to leave this big bad boy alone. And it's right here. Very subtle. Little Hemi badge, standing for those 426 cubic inches with hemispherical heads. This little badge here just meant so much. Time for Craig now. How you doing, mate?
Good, mate. Good. Yourself, Fletch?
Wonderful. Got to love Kumeu.
Oh, you do, mate. You know, you look forward to it each year. It comes around and they put the weather on again this year, you know, so nice. It's going to be a nice hot one. So
it's becoming such a pinnacle event for New Zealand.
Oh, it is, mate. You know, I think most enthusiasts and rodders, they look forward to it each year. It brings a lot of people from all around the North Island, South Island as well. So.
Absolutely. And coming with that, of course, is some incredible cars. Now, a rare vehicle here. We have a 1964 Plymouth Fury, and it doesn't have the 413 or a 426 Hemi, but it does have a 426 Wedge. Now, you don't see many of these, Craig.
No, you don't see many around. We'd sort of kept a lookout for quite a while for one. It was hard to get the right sort of combination. So yeah, it is. It's a 426 Street Wedge. The only thing better in the day, I suppose, the forerunner to the Hemi that was being developed was the Max Wedge. But myself and my brother Gene, we'd been looking, and we've got a few cars together.
Well, these are the cars back in the day that you just didn't mess with. These were the stoplight to stoplight cars, the quarter mile brawlers, the big brother to the 413, and as Craig alluded to, before the 426 Hemi being developed. Only ran a couple of years, 63 and 64, and almost managing 1 horsepower per cube. The 426 Hemi managed that, 426 stock horsepower, 426 cubes. These did pretty well around that, based on around about an 11-to-1 compression. So back in their time, an incredibly powerful car.
Oh, they were, mate, and you know what, Fletch, it's a pleasure to drive. It's one of those cars that if you want to, you put your foot down. It's running the automatic, the trans, but easily drivable, which is good in traffic too.
Your brother Craig was showing me the watermark inside the factory stamp, which is actually designed to wash off over time. So there's a little example. The original owner didn't wash underneath the hood very often and the engine bay, but hey, that's cool because that's original DNA of the car. Back in the day, these cars, pipes out the side, SS on the quarter glass, and as I said earlier, a street car. A gorgeous car, two-door. Have a go at the interior, the beautiful original interior as well. Not only were they a performance car, they had a bit of class about them as well, Craig.
They did, yeah. The Sport Fury had the top of the line as far as the trim and interior. And it gives you a bit of luxury and comfort and sport performance at the same time.
Craig, I'll let you get back to it, mate. Lovely chatting with you. I love the car. This is just, it's awesome all day long, mate. Thanks very much.
Awesome, mate. Thanks again.
All right, cheers, Craig.
Every weekend around Australia, motoring enthusiasts get together to share their passion for cars and bikes. It's a passion that brings us together. All sorts of people, all sorts of cars and bikes. From the classics of today to the classics of tomorrow. At Shannons, we understand enthusiasts. So when it comes to insurance, it's got to be Shannons. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
When it comes to cars, there are some brands that will remain with us forever, no matter what. The Holden was always Australia's own car, held high in the hearts of many. Those lines, that chrome, the stories around them, and the people that owned them. From the classic through to the final, you can still trust in genuine Holden and AC Delco parts, available through the Holden Certified Service Network. Welcome to Kumeu for 2023. This is late morning on Friday, and traditionally Fridays have been a setup day, a chance for the traders to come in and set up their stands. A few campers come in and set up over there on the hill as well. But evolving with the times and more people coming to this event, this is the first year of the gates opening for the public on a Friday at 1 p.m. Okay, it's Saturday, the main day here at Kumeu. The vehicles are arriving for their park-ups. It's time now to go and take a closer look. Here we go at Kumeu, time for a hot rod. How you doing, Bruce?
Yeah, good mate, nice to meet you.
Likewise, mate. Enjoying it so far?
Oh, I love it. It's a great event coming up here. Beautiful weather, you know, great sunshine. Get out, see some cars. It's a great place to be.
An old line often said on Classic Restos, what you're seeing in these episodes is just part of what the Kumeu Classic Car and Hot Rod Festival has to offer. Behind us, we've got a 1930A model, right?
Yeah, correct. 1930 Model A Coupe, sitting on 32 rails. Runs a little 406 small block Chev, turbo 350 and a 9-inch. So she's pretty fun to drive. A little go-kart on steroids, really. But yeah, she's great fun.
Mate, power to weight, this thing must be an absolute missile.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. 100k on the motorway and you put your jandals down and she goes for it, smoke the tyres and yeah, get you in a little bit of trouble now and then.
And all the traction out back there with those big wide ones going on.
Oh, 100%. It's not something you want to drive in the rain either. She's a bit sketchy there, so yeah, it's good fun though, good fun.
Not the sort of vehicle you lend to the neighbour.
No, not really. My wife's driven it though, and you know, a couple of mates have driven it. But yeah, you don't want to if you don't know anything about it, you don't want to go in it.
We've said this before with the hot rods. There's no limit to the imagination. It's an extension of the restorer's persona. Whatever you think is cool. There's no rules here, is there? You know.
100% agree. You build it because you like it. You should never build a car for someone else's approval. Yeah. And that's what I've done. I built my car to how I wanted it, and if people don't like it, I don't mind.
Right down to little things, Bruce, like the Sprite there, the bottle for the catch can. How cool's that?
Yeah, just something different. I don't believe in drinking and driving, and a lot of guys run, you know, the old beer bottle can or something like that. I wanted something Coke, and I got green windows in the car and it matched, so just something different, you know. And the kids love it. It really attracts your kids to your car.
Have a go at the gear stick. What's the story there, mate?
Well, you can go and buy something off the shelf that's only a few inches long and it looks pretty boring. So if you build something that nearly touches the roof, it's just a bit different. It's an old Ed Roth tradition, that massive long gear levers, just something real different, you know.
What's the speedo out of?
It's out of a 1949 Nash Aeroflight. So I'd searched one of them. I got the whole column. It didn't fit in the car, so just took the pod off only. And yeah, she's pretty rare and collectible.
Bruce, with the hot rod, where did you start? Did you literally begin with the rails and everything up from there?
I started with a set of 32 rails that was built by a guy down the line, and I promised my wife that I wouldn't rush to build the car, and 7 months later the body arrived from America, and then it took me about 7 years to collect all the parts, and then it took me 1 year exactly to build it.
It's amazing, and she'll wait 6 years for the new kitchen, won't she?
What new kitchen? No new kitchen. I've got another hot rod to build yet.
There you go. It's all about priorities. Bruce, great catching up, mate. Thank you very much. I'll let you get back to it. Love what you've done here. Look, it's a simple hot rod, but have a go at it. It's well powered. It's got a Chevy up front. I love the narrow cross-ply tyres, or the replicating tyres from the time, although they're new tyres. Just the whole thing looks so cool.
Thank you very much, and it's been awesome, Fletch. Thank you.
Good on you, mate. Cheers, Bruce.
Appreciate it. Thanks, mate. Have a good time.
You too. Time for Peter now on this thing. How you doing, Peter?
Great, Fletch. Been an excellent day here at the Kumeu show.
Yeah. You're enjoying yourself, right?
Mate, it's amazing. Every year, I never miss it.
There's so much different stuff that you see here each and every year, right?
It is. It changes all the time, mate.
Now, Peter, I've got one question for you. What the bloody hell is this?
It's a home-built bike. I did it myself. I got inspiration from looking at photographs of steel motorcycles, and thought I saw something which took my eye, and I thought, why couldn't I build that out of timber?
Mate, I think it is an absolute cracker, this thing. This is incredible. A timber motorcycle, at first glance, looks like a bit of construction steel out of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Yep, that's what I've painted it to look as though it's steel, it's rusty steel. Yeah.
I love what you've done. Tell us about the engine. What powers it?
It's a Lister Peta LT1 model, and it's 7 horsepower.
Story out the back there, Peter, with the swing arm. What's going on there?
Well, it's a rigid suspension. The suspension on this is the tractor seat. There's plenty of travel in that, so it's comfy on the bumps. There's all the fittings on the bike are being made out of metal. I had to sort of teach myself how to weld, and so far my welds are holding together. So hopefully I get home.
They've got the other side there starting to break away, but we won't film that.
No, that's all good.
All right, Peter, this is awesome, mate. I was going to say keep up your great work. Well, you've already done the great work, but I just think this is the first time we've ever seen anything quite like this. A timber frame, homemade motorcycle, and that is just so much like steel.
Keep matches away from it, eh?
There you go, mate.
Thanks, Fletch.
Yeah, you're welcome, Peter. I love it, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
This thing's unreal. It's lost 13 races. It's got its own mobile rat and an oil can sitting on the frame. Yeah. What more do you want? A little bit of an update segment for you here at Kumeu. Years ago, we had this lady, Renee, on the show. She had a beautiful white HQ with a red interior. Now she's got a red 73 with a tan interior, something lurking under the hood. How are you, Renee?
I'm good, Fletch. How are you?
Good, thank you. The HQ thing, you're still doing things very well, I see.
Yeah, well, I like my HQs.
How many do you have?
We've got 2.
There you go. So, tell us a little bit about this.
So this is a 73 Kingswood, and basically the white one that I have is being restored at the moment, so we thought we'd put my engine in the red one just for fun.
I just love this sleeper look. We've got a plain, respectfully like a taxi type HQ with this beautiful engine in front. It must be incredible to drive.
It's good fun. Yeah, it's definitely good fun. No traction, no problem.
I just love the plainness. Look, we look in the interior there, bench seat.
Yeah, 3 up front, 3 up the back.
So where's the white one this year?
At home getting restored.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes forever. It's supposed to be a 1-year job, but now we're on the 4th year, so yeah.
Well, it takes time to make a great pizza, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it when it's on the road, Renee. Thanks for getting back on the episode here. Kumeu Classic Car and Hot Rod Show for 2023. Nice to catch up with you again, and fantastic work on these HQs.
Thanks, Fletch. Good to see you.
Thanks, Renee.
Cheers.
My passion for cars began when Nana and Pop bought their new Toyota Crown. It was Nana's, really. She loved that car. We went everywhere in it. My passion now is just the same, even though my cars are a little different. I've still got Nana's car, couldn't part with it. And I reckon if she was here today, she'd be insured with Shannons too.
Call Shannons on 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
They may not be making the classic Holden anymore, but the legacy lives on. You can still have a Holden certified service using genuine Holden and AC Delco quality parts at over 180 centres across Australia. Go to holden.com.au to find your nearest centre. Book your Holden in, maintain the pride. It goes without saying, really, if you own a classic, it just has to be insured with Shannons. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote and a chat on 134646? Perhaps a discussion regarding the many different products that Shannons has on offer to you, and ones that might suit you best. Also, joining the Shannons Club has never been easier. For more information about insurance, the Shannons Club, and a whole lot more, visit shannons.com.au. The organiser, Ken Galvin, how are you, buddy?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. I'm looking forward to Sunday, closure.
Mate, I've got to say, it's great to be back. Great to see you again.
I'm bloody pleased to see you. Like, for example, your family, mate. How dare you not come over? You should have bloody swum over or something like that. Not our fault.
Isn't that nice? And what a mainstay for the North Island of New Zealand, as I have mentioned before. The Kumeu Classic Car and Hot Rod event, the way it's evolved over the years, it's a worldly event.
You guys make it. We just open the doors and the participants put it on, like yourselves and people that come from overseas and all that. So as far as I'm concerned, it's like everybody's event that comes through the door, and they make it. It's not me, I don't.
We say classic cars and hot rods, but it's all the cool stuff that goes with it. I mean, ladies come along, there's clothing in there. There's just so much different stuff to see. The cars out on the paddock, there's no recipe. There's just so much variance. And I think that's what people love about this show.
There's such a variety of cars. We've even got a wooden motorbike here, mate.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like...
The thing is, Ken, I've interviewed Peter with that bike, and being made out of timber, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, but we're Kiwis, it always works.
It wouldn't work?
No, I got that joke and I'm trying to think of a comeback on it, but...
This is what the Kiwis are like. It's more laid back over here. There's some of the world's best peddlers when it comes to automotive events. Very talented people. We've got some fantastic machinery that turns up here. You guys just do it so easy by the seams.
Yeah, we make it look easy because the fact is that we want somebody else to try and do it. And what happens is they don't.
Righto, how many years has the event been running for now, Ken?
29 years, and we're going to do a 30 year next year, because that comes after 29, just in case you didn't realise that. And then what we're going to do is, in 30 years, we're going to have a special event, and you'll blow your mind, mate, because I'll tell you what, I've got no idea what we're going to do, but it's going to be...
That's worth coming over for when you've got no idea what you're going to do. That's brilliant.
Well, that's what Kumeu's about. You've got no idea what's happening anyway, do you? I mean, you don't know what's going to happen.
Ken Galvin, obviously with your wife Desma, Nicole and all the family team, mate, the organisers of this fantastic event here at Kumeu every year, try and get here for 2024. It's a remarkable event. Ken, thank you once again, mate.
Thanks for coming, mate, because I really appreciate the fact that, you know, you're part of the family. And when you said...
That's lovely.
People, however, everybody that comes here is family now.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
And they'll come up to us and say, oh, great. Or they'll come up to us and say, oh, I'm not happy with blah, blah, blah. So I says, we'll go and fix it. So.
All right. Thanks for all your hospitality, Ken. It's been wonderful, mate. And we'll see you back here in 2024.
Thank you, and make sure you do. Eh?
How cool is this? Kumeu Classic Car and Hot Rod Festival for 2023. The entertainment just never stops here across the weekend. Now remember Crown, our military man. He was on Classic Restos with the Kumeu show here a few years ago. Well, he's back to entertain us all again. This time running over a couple of cars in his tank car crush. What do we say? It's Kumeu. It's big on everything. Big on cars in the paddock, big on cars in the show sheds, and of course we have the swap sites. There's several hundred of these, and even if you're not over that side of the paddock, you're on this side, there's enough here to keep you walking around and occupied for hours. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed just some of the Kumeu Classic Car and Hot Rod Festival for 2023. There's a stack more coming your way on next week's episode as a part 2. Until then, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, where you can sign up to be a member of the Shannons Club, your local Holden certified service centre. Pace Farm the enjoyable egg, and Heron Forbes Machinery House, where you can buy online.